Why is June the month of the Sacred Heart of Jesus? So the journey begins in 1673 when a French nun called Margaret Mary Alacoque, who belonged to the Order of the Visitation of Holy Mary in eastern France, began to receive extraordinary visions of Jesus. And in these mystical encounters and experiences, Jesus revealed his sacred heart, a heart that is aflame with love for humanity. And so Jesus appeared to Sister Margaret Mary Alacoque, revealing ways to venerate his sacred heart and explaining the immense love he has for humanity, appearing with his heart visible outside his chest, on fire and surrounded by a crown of thorns. So these different ways include partaking in a holy hour on Thursdays and receiving the Eucharist on the first Friday of every month. So Jesus told Margaret Mary, he said, "My sacred heart is so intense in its love for men and for you in particular, that not being able to contain within it the flames of its ardent charity, they must be transmitted through all means." Now these visions continued for like 18 months. Then on the 16th day of June 1675, Jesus told Sister Margaret Mary to promote a feast that honored his sacred heart. He gave her 12 promises, and these promises were made to all those who would venerate and promote the devotion to his sacred heart. He told her, he said, "I ask of you that the Friday after the octave of Corpus Christi be set apart for a special feast to honor my heart by communicating on that day and making reparation to it by a solemn act in order to make amends for the indignities which it has received during the time it has been exposed on the altars. I promise you that my heart shall expand itself to shed in abundance the influence of its divine love upon those who shall thus honor it and cause it to be honored." In 1690, Sister Margaret Mary died. She was canonized by Pope Benedict XV on May 13, 1920. Now, as the devotion of the Sacred Heart began to spread throughout France, the Vatican granted the Feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus to France in 1765. So in 1856, Pope Pius IX designated the Friday following the Feast of Corpus Christi as the Feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus for the universal church. So ever since, the month of June has been devoted to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and his immense love for all of humanity. On the current calendar, the Feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus is a solemnity. The solemnity is the highest ranking feast in the liturgical calendar, although the solemnity of the Sacred Heart of Jesus is not a holy day of obligation. Now, these are the promises the Sacred Heart of Jesus made to Saint Margaret Mary Alacoque. "I will give them all the graces necessary for their state in life. I will give peace in their families. I will console them in all their troubles. I will be their refuge in life and especially in death. I will abundantly bless all their undertakings. Sinners shall find in my heart the source and infinite ocean of mercy. Tepid souls shall become fervent. Fervent souls shall rise speedily to great perfection. I will bless those places wherein the image of my sacred heart shall be exposed and venerated. I will give to priests the power to touch the most hardened hearts. Persons who propagate this devotion shall have their names eternally written in my heart. In the excess of the mercy of my heart, I promise you that all my powerful love will grant to all those who will receive communion on the first Fridays for 9 consecutive months the grace of final repentance. They will not die in my displeasure, nor without receiving the sacraments, and my heart will be their secure refuge in that last hour. So this June, let us open our hearts to his love Whether it's a holy hour on Thursdays or receiving the Eucharist on first Fridays of every month, let's draw closer to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. This is an invitation to all of us to honor the heart of Jesus, to make amends and receive abundant graces. Remember, June isn't just a month, it's an invitation to experience divine love. Happy solemnity of the Sacred Heart of Jesus.